again, we're going to ask ourselves, first times first has to be the first thing. What times what is x to the 2/3?
X to the 1/3.
Times x to the 1/3. Why?
Because you add the
X to the 1/3 times x to the 1/3 has the same base. So what do we do to the exponents? You add them, and that's where we get x to the 2/3 from. Got a little cheater here. That's a good helper friend. Okay, that middle term. And then last times last has to be -4. What times what is -4? -4 times 1 or -2 and +2. Which one are we going to use? -4 and 1. So -4 and +1. How do you know if you did it right?
the rainbow.
Check the rainbow. Absolutely. So we have 1x to the 1/3 minus 4x to the 1/3. And 1x to the 1/3 minus 4x to the 1/3 gives me 3x's to the 1/3. All right? So then what do we do once it's factored? Set each bubble equal to 0. And this is why I gave you those problems in the warm-up. So what should we do to solve for x? Add 4. So x to the 1/3 equals 4. And then how do I get rid of this power of 1/3?
Cubit.
Cubit. 3/1. Cubit. All right. X to the 1/3 to the 3rd is just x to the 1st. And 4 cubed is 64. So there's one answer. Over here, what should we do to solve for x?
Isolate.
Isolate. So we're going to subtract 1. And then how do we get rid of our power of 1/3? Cubit. The 3/1. Reciprocal power. So we get x equals, what is -1 cubed?
-1.
-1. -1 times -1 times -1 is -1. Okay? It's not as bad as you thought, right?
Great.
2.
All
right. Again, this is really ugly, but it's quadratic in form.
I don't. There's more.
It double bubbles just like before.
Oh, no. Why?
First times first has to be the first thing. What times what is 14x squared? All right, so 7 times 2 gives us the 14. What times what gives us the x to the -2? X to the -1 times x to the -1. Why does that work? X to the -1 times x to the -1. They have the same base, and you add those exponents together. So -1 and -1 is where that -2 comes from. All right. That gets us our first term. Last times last has to be -45. What times what is -45? -15 times 3, -9 times 5. Let me see.
15. Oh, I know. It's not a. What else gets 45?
I don't know. Yeah.
Let's just say it's no solution.
How do you know? Where does the middle term come from?
Yeah, but it's
From the rainbow.
Okay, you're right. You're right.
5 and 9?
All right.
Oh. I forgot the middle.
Where does the 17x to the -1 come from? The rainbow. 9 and 5 does not give us the 17, right? No. It comes from the rainbow, right? So I'm going to put my 9 here and my 5 here. -9 and a +5. Let's check the rainbow. All right, so my rainbow here, the outer product is 35x to the -1. And what's the inside?
18.
-18 x to the -1. And 35 minus 18 is the 17. Okay. All right. And then we can do what? Set each bubble equal to 0. So 7x to the -1 minus 9 equals 0. And 2x to the -1 plus 5 equals 0. That's kind of an interesting one, actually. These are really miscellaneous. So miscellaneous. All right, so what should we do to solve? Isolate. So we're going to add 9 and divide by 7. So x to the -1 is 9 over 7. What is x to the -1?
1 over x.
Oh, 1 over x equals 9/7.
Then you can cross multiply.
Okay. So 9x equals 7, which means x equals 7/9. Okay, so the other way to think about that was the reciprocal of x is that 9 over 7. What's x? 7 over 9.
Great.
Okay. All right, over here, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to do what to isolate? Subtract 5 and divide by 2. Very good. The reciprocal of x is -5/2. What's x? -2/5. Very good. So again, x to the -1 is really 1 over x. And then you can cross multiply if you want to. So -5x equals 2, and divide by 5, you get -2/5.
So we're done with the practice.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was so fun.
Oh gosh, I wish.
Can I ask an
Uh-huh.